My running face.
Have you seen those memes?
Oh, they're bad. Mine's bad. Yeah, it looks like mine. Like I'm dying a slow, painful death. You know when they take the picture of the side of the when you're running a race or whatever.
Yeah.
I tilt my neck, and you're gonna tell me that you should keep your neck straight so you can breathe probably better. And I look like either I'm constipated or someone just shot me in my stomach.
We're gonna get those pictures.
Yeah, you can get those pictures. But they're not pretty to see.
Yeah.
No,
I gotta see them. I gotta see them.
Welcome to Recommended Daily Dose. I'm your host, Dr. Clinton Coleman, along with my colleague,
Dr. Suraj Saggar.
We have a HellahGood show today.
HellahGood show. That's a West Coast saying, by the way.
It's a play on words. It's a play on words.
Yeah, it is a West Coast.
You have a copyright for that?
I should claim it.
We have former pro soccer star and elite runner, as well as a vegan athlete. We're going to talk to him about his inspiring story about
Kind of you guys.
Yeah, about
inspiring to say the least.
about
man.
health,
Really something.
fitness, and food. We have Hellah Sidibe.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us.
I'm excited to be here.
Yeah,
for sure.
welcome.
Thank you.
Really appreciate you taking the time to come down. Tell us, what's going on, man? You're known as a lot of things: vegan athlete, elite athlete, former pro soccer player, runner. Tell us about the running. That's what I'm excited to hear
The
about.
running came with because that's something I was always afraid of.
Right.
I played soccer my whole life, but when it came to fitness days, man, I couldn't sleep. Like if the coach said we have fitness tomorrow, I'd be the person in bed till 2 a.m.
Right.
Kind of like imagining how painful it's gonna be. So I never enjoyed running. I would run because I had to, and then with soccer, when you're playing, your mind is on the ball, so you're not just thinking about the pain of running. So I never liked running. Also, I like how I look after a season is over. You're in shape. And I always tell myself, you know what? After the season, you're gonna keep running to keep that shape.
Right.
That's the only way you can.
Oh, it's good. It's kind of like a before, after. Like so it's the before the season. After. No, I'm with you. Continue.
But the thing is, like, you didn't just go running. Like, you've been running every day since 2017. So how many days are you up to now? Like, every day?
Every day. Yeah. Today, I completed my 1,022nd consecutive run.
So did you hear that? He's run every day since 2017.
Yeah.
Are we talking every day?
Like running.
Distance runs,
no matter
tempo
the
runs.
circumstances. We're talking about
intervals?
just distance straight.
Just distance straight.
And I have this little ego for myself. When I leave home, I don't stop till I get back. So I always say it doesn't matter how slow I go as long as I don't stop. So there's no stop in between. There's no like sprint 500 yards and add it to another 500 yards and say I cover this distance.
Right.
Even my shoelace would be untied sometime, and I'm like, I'm sorry, shoelace, you're gonna be all messed up, but
dangerous.
I can't stop to tie it. I just got it. Just a personal thing for myself. Right.
But are you having a distance that you're doing? This is not possible for the average athlete.
I think it is
elite
possible.
athletes over here maybe, but someone like me.
Like, you pointed at me, right?
I think my hand just slipped walking that way.
I'm a runner too.
Yeah.
Right? So
I think everyone could be a runner.
I run
Jazzercise
from the police.
The police.
I run from my wife.
You're definitely
when I'm doing something wrong.
Yeah, he's definitely
But this guy, he's a runner, but you're in a whole different stratosphere, right?
I wouldn't say so much.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. Just
Because,
go ahead and say it.
Because I say you cannot cheat running.
Right.
I don't care if you go slow or fast, because at the end of the day, a 6-minute mile is still a 12-minute mile is still a mile. If you go 6-minute mile, I go 12-minute. It's still a mile at the end of the day.
Sure.
But and I've run with people who are much slower than me, and I'm like, how do you do this? Because that's a painful run.
You'd rather just get over with.
You're going
actually.
slow.
Right.
You're hitting all the muscle group, and it's different. And then when you go fast, also it's painful. So I don't care what anyone says. If you're running, you're a runner.
So can we break?
don't take
Since
that
I
away
am
from
a
yourself.
runner, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But I have a lot of questions. Specific to running.
Yes.
And he might get lost. If you want to take a nap, whatever.
Well,
go
let's
ahead.
let's
You go
start from
ahead.
what motivated you to run consecutively every day. I know you were, you had some
Yeah.
self.
You weren't running from
Yeah,
somebody. It must have been
definitely not. I wanted to hold myself accountable from but once, making a promise and stay true to it. Because I'll tell myself I'm going to do this and I never stick to it. And then I also was inspired by someone who was an athlete that told themselves they're going to run every day. I don't think they ended up continuing.
Okay.
And then most of all, I look at people around the world. There's people who don't have legs. There's people who are handicapped. They can't walk, let alone run. So I'm looking at myself. I have my whole capability. Let me take advantage of it, because one day this will not be a thing. It doesn't mean that I won't have my legs, but one day I won't be able to run as much as I am. So that motivates me to get out there.
At what point did it become, beyond yourself? Like, originally you were just trying to self-motivate, and then what day was it
personal.
like?
As soon as I hit the year mark,
Okay.
I'm like, you know what? I just ran every day for
Right.
365 days.
It's a big deal.
Why not just keep
and,
going?
And I said, I'm just going to keep going because I love this.
Right.
But I realized quickly it was much bigger than myself. I saw all the people that are getting inspired by it. all the people that started their challenge. And then I was more happy for them to hit the 365 days.
Right.
Because a lot of people are making excuses. Oh, genetic. Oh, you're just an athlete.
Yeah.
And then there's people who are getting up and doing it. So I'm like, you know what? It doesn't matter who you are. With the right mindset, anything is possible.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
And do you have? I mean, is this something like specific, like the Hellah Challenge? You know,
Yeah, we have a challenge going on.
You do. What's the name?
There's no specific. We use the hashtag Train HellahGood.
Okay.
And then
okay, yeah.
and then with the hashtag, basically training HellahGood is anything you do in life, you do it hella good. You know that Kelly slang.
Which means you
but
give
it's
it all.
hella.
You give it all.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And
So even though I tell people, if you're giving a hug to someone, you
Right.
give them a hell of a good hug. If you're eating, eat hella good. If you are doing anything, give your best within that circumstances. And the best doesn't have to be like exceptional because every day circumstance is different.
Right.
Like today, you woke up early because you had to go do something. But you might be a little tired later. But your best today, you can't compare it to yesterday. But as long as you know you're giving your best
Right.
within that day, that's the important
you know,
part.
you inspire me
So-
because I got up very early to do, you know, something.
Flossing.
Floss. I was gonna say the news, but
The
no,
news.
yes. But I was thinking to myself, hey, I deserve a break from working out today. I won't run, but you know what? I mean, you're saying weather,
It doesn't
sleep,
matter.
family commitments,
It even travels.
travel.
I traveled to Australia. I made sure I kept my streak alive.
Are you running around the plane? What are you doing here? Like,
I
That's a
thought
good
about
point.
that. I'm gonna
We
say
caught
this.
him.
see?
I have to say this. This is I almost
He
told
ran on the
myself-
plane.
I wasn't
You
in
saw her
business
first.
class or anything. I told myself if I have to go to Australia, if it comes down to me, even though my priority is to run outside, if I have to go into business class and tell them I have some kind of medical problem, if I don't run, my blood sugar will make something up. So they let me into their gym at the airport so I can continue my
there you
streak.
go. Right.
I was
right.
like, I have to do it. I'm like, this is like, I'm not dishonest, but I have to do this. But I almost turned down Australia because running was important to me. And
Because
I
the
said,
flight is how long?
yeah, 26 hours total. So GoPro
With
was-
connections,
yeah,
that's right.
GoPro was very helpful.
Yeah.
So I almost told them, GoPro, I met you because of running, and I
So,
love
what,
running.
GoPro is one of your sponsors? Or is that,
It's not like a written sponsorship.
Yes.
I'm in the GoPro family. They
Ah,
saw
okay,
what
very
I
good.
met the CEO. He said, I love what you're doing. I want to support you. So they've been with me since I met them.
excellent. Excellent.
Been providing me with GoPro. They've taken me on a trip with them to Australia. And
So, do
they're
you wear the
supporting me
GoPro
running.
camera when you are running?
The day I went out to run 50 miles, I had the GoPro strapped to my chest so you
Mm.
can see a POV. And I had a GoPro with me.
Yes.
GoPro is really. When I ran the New York City Marathon, I took the GoPro to
Okay.
bring people along.
Can you
But
tell me your marathon time just so I can feel really bad about myself?
3:38. It's not great, but I'm so happy with it.
What's average?
Oh, more than that.
Yeah.
3:30 is fantastic.
3:30. The reason I was proud of it because it was
Those are-
902 consecutive days, no days off, no
So
rest.
can you imagine that? Right,
And-
because
and
you realize
I
most
was so-
people are going to take weeks off
Yeah,
prior.
you're supposed
And
to.
they train.
And they
like
taper
certain
down.
Yeah,
intervals.
taper down.
Taper
I
down.
didn't have any rest. I haven't had any rest.
So I'm
days,
assuming you probably ran slower than usual just to avoid injury at that point, no?
When I was getting close to the marathon mark, I was going down, and I wasn't running smart actually in the beginning.
Okay.
Because a lot of people I met that have done like sub 3, they're telling me, how are you able to run consistently in the 7-minute pace for this long? And I'm thinking sometime I used to be myself, this is not fast enough.
Right.
And they said you shouldn't be doing this, and for you to keep this up, it's amazing. So when I found out I got into the marathon, I want to do a little more research how to prepare for a marathon, even
course,
though I was
right.
literally just a
Because
month
there's
out.
tapering up, there's tapering
Yeah.
down, and then, you know.
And
yeah,
I
it's-
learned the concept run slow to run fast.
Yeah.
So I started really focusing on running slow. And I like that a lot. And
Right.
I feel good. I think that's going to be a thing that I'm doing more.
Especially
And
New
it's
York
gonna help
Marathon,
running
though,
across
right?
the country.
Because
So,
that's
yeah.
like just taking in the whole atmosphere,
It's-
all the 5 boroughs.
It's a
wonderful
social thing,
experience,
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful experience.
It's a spiritual thing,
Yeah.
really.
Right. So let's go over the benefits of running. So you know you have increase your strength and muscles.
Yeah.
It's good for your heart. There's a lot of other benefits, stress relief.
Yeah.
So
Are
mental
you,
benefits as
Right.
well,
Are you
right?
worried about any injuries? Like,
Nope.
especially since you've been running
Not
so
at all.
often.
And
Not
listen,
at all.
but we got to
Yeah.
put a disclaimer here. You're not. The average person listening
Yeah.
can't possibly keep up with someone like you who's an elite athlete, right? So I mean, that's why we like. So you tell us about how
Yeah.
you do it, but then I would love for you to tell us like how the rest of
Yeah.
us should be doing it as well.
So this is what I told people.
Yeah.
Yes, I was an athlete. Running was never my best asset. If we're talking about sprinting 60 yards, I don't think anyone could have caught me.
Right.
I had this kind
So
of.
you were more of
speed
what
to
we call
myself.
fast twitch
Yeah,
muscle,
I was
like sprinter,
quick
yeah?
when it came
Right.
to running on the field. I've never played anyone in my career that was faster than me. That's
It's like
me
me and
personally.
him, though. I beat him in a race.
Yeah, you beat him.
we were.
But you probably could beat
Wait,
me in a
we
marathon.
can handle this right now. After we're done here with this podcast,
Oh, we're
we'll
running.
Go outside. and
We're
then
definitely running.
We can settle.
Oh!
You got his shoes on too.
I got
Um,
shoes, so I'm wearing glasses.
yeah,
you
but-
call me an off day.
For the average person, I think that they should just take their time.
Okay.
Like I wasn't even running a mile at some point. I was doing 10 minutes. It would be like 0.92.
Okay.
So
right.
it's about pacing yourself,
Okay.
taking your time to it, and you'll be surprised how far that's going to take you. Really will.
What about also like like stance when you run? Because I have, you see people who look like gazelles. I'm guessing you were just like bounding down, using minimal energy, efficient running stroke. I'm like all over the road, sideways, left, right. When we talk about pictures, I mean, my neck is, it's a mess.
Yeah.
And I have, I never got trained to run. Like I just started running, probably like a lot of people when I was in high school, just normal, normal activities. Run to get better at tennis, run to get better at soccer.
Yeah,
it's something to a means to an end.
Exactly.
And then you realize now, people, and I enjoy it, doing the running. But the idea of the stance, like how you do it.
Yeah, it took me a while to figure that out. And it's important to record yourself when you run.
Really?
I have a video of my running transformation. Oh, my God.
In terms of your
if
stance.
If I go look at the very beginning, I'm like, what am I doing right now?
I'm worried that I have a funny run and people are going to make fun of me.
And I've had people give me tips, and I take tips from the audience.
Like a Forrest
I
Gump.
always let people know I'm not any expert. Okay. Yes, I've learned a lot through my experience. But if you have a tip for me, because there's a runner out there that's a better runner than me, feel free to, because I'm open-minded about that. But
so do you have a coach?
No, I don't have a coach, but I've trained with people. I talked to this Olympian, Roberto. He was a former Olympian, Roberto Manje. He's in New York City, and he's giving me some tips. I've seen like the elite runners, like the Eliud Kipchoge's. I'll pay attention to them.
Okay.
And your body posture, keeping your body right doesn't necessarily mean stand tall, but having your body at an angle where it's upright. Where your chest is open, you can breathe.
It's the whole airway from the mouth all the way to the lungs. That's really important.
I did a video on that too as well. And you get to a point where like it'll be so beautiful, your step is in sync with your breath. So that's when you know you're doing well. When you're about to strike the ground, that deep breath is getting released.
It's
when
like
you're pushing up,
Nirvana.
It's coming. It's really beautiful.
Wow.
It's that runner's high. I told you it's a real thing.
That high hits you.
Oh, it's right. People that aren't runners.
I can't explain it.
No, but it's a scientific
we chase
thing.
those days.
The endorphins.
It's endorphin release, but it takes a couple miles to get into it.
Yeah, I chase those days. Sometimes I run for those days.
Yes.
But I had one experience where it hit my soul like it never happened. So that's different.
You caught the Holy Ghost running?
I think I caught the Holy Ghost.
Oh, have mercy.
Did you yell a little praise?
Like, hallelujah.
That day, it hit me so deep in my soul, I couldn't explain it. It wasn't runner high. It was one of those things where, like, I'm looking down.
A spiritual awakening.
It felt like my legs are moving.
Right.
But my body's watching it from, like, a drone.
Wow.
Oh, so you left your body.
I left my body. That's why I said it hit my soul. So I'm moving. I'm smiling. And when runner's high, you want to keep going. You don't want to stop.
Yeah.
Right.
This one, it wasn't like you don't want to stop. But that time that you set out for yourself to run, you are in a different world. It happened to me. I have to share on my social media. I was like, did anyone runs that it hit your soul? Because I've never experienced that till that day. And I'm running every day chasing that. And it's a fun game because now I'm looking forward to that again. And I have to keep going multiple days. Maybe I might not ever get it. But the fact that there's hope that I might get it, that's another motivation.
Do you ever find, and there's actually a scientific reason for this, that when you start running, sometimes you could run 10 miles a day. It's the first mile or two is actually the hardest. I find it takes a while for me to get my breathing, warmed up, my muscles warmed up, just getting. Yeah. So like I'm literally, I can run good amount of distances.
How old are your muscles now, though? Like
they're young.
His muscles. How old are you?
Take a guess. Let's see.
25.
Ooh, you guys are nice. What do you think?
You got like 60-year-old muscles.
What are you talking? No. Listen. Listen. Take it easy.
So it's going to take days for your
We're not talking dog
up.
years here. I am a year older than him. Obviously, you can tell that I'm obviously a bit more accomplished. The way I dress, whatever. But I'm just slightly older.
Than him.
I'm guessing you're 20.
Black don't crack, though, right?
Black don't crack. That is true. And they say the darker the berry, sweeter the juice.
Well, I mean, look, this is I'm gonna tell you something about Brown later.
All right, so warming up. Sorry.
I'm saying 27.
Higher.
30.
No, 29.
29.
30. Wow. Oh, yeah. 30 in this year. I'm 30.
You remember your 20s?
30. Yeah.
But I wasn't that motivated when I was 29.
Well, see, we were stuck studying, so
that's great. So look where you guys are at right now. That's
well,
amazing.
I will tell you, a side note, I think you play basketball. I mean, that's what got me through medical school, keeping sane, was exercise, or whatever it might be. For me, it was running. For him, jazzercise, or what else you do? Volleyball?
Jazzercise.
My dad wanted me to be a doctor, so I took public health, so he just leaves me a little bit.
There you go. Excellent. No, but that idea, I tell you, I find when I run, let's say you can normally run 10 miles, no problem. But that first mile, I'm breathing heavy.
It's tough.
And then after like a mile into it, I feel good. I'm like, and then mile 8, 6, 7 days when you start, like you said, chasing that runner's high.
Yeah.
But it's weird for me, always that first mile.
Yeah.
I'm breathing heavy within a quarter of a mile.
Yeah, because your heart rate is just like all of a sudden
it's just ramping up. Right,
it needs to kind of level itself out.
So that's what I allude to was like, how do you warm up? Because I don't. I do one of these and I just start running.
If I tell you,
run every day. You don't need to warm up.
I don't warm up. I just ease myself into the run. And then you speak to most runners. Most of the
Right.
time, no one really warms up.
Really?
Yeah, unless if you're like at a training session, they'll make you do all these A skip, V skip,
Yeah.
all that
Well,
posture.
exactly.
To
So
get you
do
ready.
you find,
but-
you know, they say don't do static stretching. Where instead of just stretching again, you know, putting your arm against the fence,
Yeah.
just stretching, do the bounding. You know, where
Yeah.
you're kind of like active,
Moving,
moving
yeah.
and stretching. But you're saying you don't do that.
No, I
anymore.
just go right into it. I'll literally ease my way and then I'll pick up the pace. Like literally within 0.5, I feel like my body's getting loose and then I can
Right,
feel my
right. So
kick
you-
is getting
Wow.
better.
Right.
Yeah. But what you were saying about like the first mile being difficult in the very beginning, I used to hit so much pain and I'm uncomfortable. But
Yes.
and I realized later on the run it goes away. So eventually when it started happening, I literally, if you look at me, you'll think I'm crazy. I'm like smiling to myself and saying, I've experienced this.
Right.
Just keep pushing. It's gonna go away.
Right.
And it does. And then knowing that every time, that first couple miles, when that happened, it doesn't phase me anymore because I know it's part of the process.
But do you ever have a
Yeah.
day where you just can't push through? Like, you know, I read Runner's Magazine, Runner's World, all these other things. They say, look, some days you're going to have bad days. And if it's not a good day, they recommend just, you know, don't feel bad. Just throw in the towel.
I won't throw in
Or
the
short-
towel.
or short. Now, you don't.
because-
Obviously, he won't
yeah,
throw in the
because
towel.
it's much bigger than just that. That's the thing. Because life is really difficult.
Right.
It's like Rocky
Running is
Balboa,
just a
never
part
threw
of
in the
it.
towel.
Because
Yeah.
I'm thinking this is preparing me that there's gonna be worse stuff that's gonna happen in life.
course.
So this is like building a callus in my mind.
Okay, sure.
So there's been tough days. I've had days where I come home, I'm almost close to crying in
Yeah,
pain.
yeah.
Right.
Because I injured my right
Right.
calf. While I was running, trying out a new shoes, which wasn't smart, and then I felt the pain within a mile, so I stopped. But I went for 10K, 6 miles. That pain lasted 50 plus days
Yeah.
because I wasn't taking a day off. And I would get home, I'm in so much pain throughout the run, and I get home, I'm hiding in a room so my girlfriend won't see me
Oh
or her
my
mother
goodness.
won't see me. Like
Right.
look like I'm about to cry.
We
I'm, like,
hide
oh,
too, but that's for
hiding
our wives.
hiding my
Yeah,
head.
yeah, yeah.
I'm like doing everything to soothe the pain.
Sure.
But I could have easily thrown in the towel. But I'm glad I didn't. Not because of not to say, oh, I'm running. This is the streak.
Right.
But I proved myself at another mental toughness. So if something,
much of it is mental.
Yeah,
You're absolutely
it's
right.
mental. For me, it's more like things are gonna happen. How do you deal with the situation?
Right.
Just now I'm injured doesn't mean I have to go run 10 miles a day. I'll keep my streak alive, my accountability, the promise I made to myself, even
Right.
if it's a small amount of miles per day. But I'm getting up. Even if
Right.
it comes back to that initial 10 miles that I set out to do.
Yeah.
I even tell people if I have to crawl, I'll do
Right.
it.
You'll do it.
Yeah, and I'll say if you don't think crawling is running, that's fine. But I went out there that day because it's not even so much the physical aspect. Sometimes getting up day in day out,
Yeah.
finding an hour of your day
Right.
to do something is tough, even though it's like a small percentage of your day.
But I think
yeah.
the important point is what you've done, which can translate into other things as far as life, is that you've made it part of your identity,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
that's important in
Yeah.
changing behavior.
Yeah.
So even though you may not feel that you want to run
Yeah.
during the day, people are looking for you to run, and that's who you are.
I'm glad you
So-
brought that
so
up
that's
because at some
a big
point,
deal, yeah.
every time I want to share my life with people on YouTube.
Yes.
But the videos that did well was
Right.
just running.
Right.
And I told my girlfriend, I'm like, I don't want to be just known as a runner. I'm more than just a runner.
Right.
And I don't want to just have to do that.
Right.
But because I was scared to a point where like, what happened if I stop running today? But I want to sit down and I thought to myself, I'm like, stop lying to yourself. Like you're not gonna stop anytime
Yeah.
soon because you love this.
Right.
So this
It's
is
who
what
you
you
are
love.
now.
Just
Yeah.
keep pumping it out. Keep
Right.
showing it because I really love it.
Right.
But with the point that you said that is an image of me. This is what I'm known
Right.
for. But thank God I'm grateful it hasn't gotten to a point where I feel like
You have to do it.
I have to
Yeah.
do it. But I love doing it. That's why I keep doing it.